Hi there, very good afternoon to you. You're watching Business Live with me, Emma Crosby. Now, running a business is hard at the best of times, but trying to keep a business afloat with an ongoing war presents a very different kind of challenge to bosses in Israel. With staff being enlisted into the army, attention and priorities are focused on safety rather than profits, and rightly so. What has the last 18 days been like for firms in the country who are trying to survive? Well, joining me now is Daphne Nissenbaum. Daphne is the Chief Executive of TIPA, compostable packaging based in Israel. And Daphne, thank you very much for joining us this time. We know it's a very difficult time for you and your community, so we appreciate your time. Since the attacks on the 7th of October, what has happened to your business and your ability just to keep things running?
First of all, Emma, thank you for having me today. You know, we're under war. We're actually a nation in grief and mourning. But at the same time, we, as Israelis, keep our heads up and continue functioning just as before. We made sure that our company works as usual with all the support we get globally from our investors, from our clients, from our partners. And, you know, I'm very proud of our global team, and specifically with our Israeli team that keeps functioning as usual and as before to make sure that the business continues to run forward and no terrorism can actually shut us down.
And we know you have many employees in Israel. I mean, how are they, and are they able to still work?
So, yeah, we have around 30, 35 Israeli employees. Part of them were called to reserves. Part of our husbands, sons, daughters were called to military service. So we are short in staff, but you know, the TIPA employees, we take over the others that cannot actually function regularly business-wise these days. And we make sure that we fulfill all our missions and continue deploying our solutions globally.
And you are not alone with this challenge. We know that Israel has a very burgeoning young tech sector, and many of those people who work in that sector have been called up as army reservists. What is going to happen? What impact will that have on that sector, would you say?
We don't know yet. I think there will be some impact, but you know, we've always been, you know, one country in this area that actually continues to work as usual, and we make sure that it does even in very hard times for us. I think that we will see some influence, but the majority of the companies manage to function, manage to continue the business. For example, at TIPA, we have a global team that works with us, and the majority of the companies do have global teams. And it's one family, and together we work shoulder to shoulder to make sure that everything runs as usual. And hopefully we will minimize the impact.
I know that you work with many leading brands around the world. Many, of course, are in the UK, household names that we'll have heard of, the likes of Riverford Organics and Waitrose Dutchy Organics, in terms of the packaging you provide for them. What kind of response or support have you had from your partners around the world?
Wow, Emma, it was unbelievable. From October 7th, I started to get messages from globally, from people all over the globe supporting us till today. Everyone that knew us in the past or knows us today offers help, support. We have great shareholders that support us, great clients, partners. We were offered help. We don't need help right now, but we were offered help. And hopefully we want. And it's very heartwarming to know that we get this support globally. And it's actually also something that, you know, one important point of light that helps us move forward as individuals, as a company, and as a nation.
And Daphne, just briefly, if you will, in closing, I read an article that at the beginning of the year you said you were very excited about 2023. How do you feel now?
Still, you know, what we do in TIPA is we've invented, developed, and we manufacture and sell compostable solutions, packaging solutions to eliminate the damage of plastic. So we all work for the future as a company. We work for the future, for the generations to come, to leave behind us a better world for our children. And we'll continue to do that, even in hard time, even with evil, as we have seen. And 2023 is challenging, but we will defeat evil.
Okay.
And we will make sure.
Daphne, I'm sorry to interrupt you. We have to leave it there, but we appreciate you coming on, and we wish you the very best as well. Daphne Nissenbaum there from TIPA Compostable Packaging.